You think having $1 million makes you rich? Let me show you something that'll blow your mind.
What do you mean? $1 million is rich.
Look at this. Jeff Bezos' actual bank account? Almost zero. Elon Musk? Technically broke on paper, yet they're worth hundreds of billions. How? Because wealth isn't about having money, it's about structuring it.
Wait, what? They have no money in their accounts?
That's what 99% of people don't understand. And in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how the ultra-rich build empires that last centuries while paying less tax than you do. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal, it's not taught in any school.
Okay, I'm confused. If they don't have money in their accounts, how do they live?
Perfect question. Let me tell you a story. In 2018, ProPublica leaked the tax returns of America's billionaires. You know what they found? Between 2014 and 2018, Bezos paid zero federal income tax in 2 of those years. Warren Buffett, his tax rate was 0.1%. That's less than a school teacher making $50,000.
How is that even legal?
That's the secret I'm giving you right now. It's called separation of control and ownership. The ultra-rich don't own their wealth. They control it through structures. And here's the kicker. This isn't illegal. It's actually encouraged by the tax code.
I don't get it. If they don't own it, how do they control it?
Perfect question. Imagine you have a house. If you own it, you pay property tax, you're liable if someone gets hurt on your property, you pay capital gains when you sell it. But what if you put that house in a trust, and the trust is owned by a company in Delaware, and that company is registered in a state with no taxes, and you just happen to be the beneficiary who lives there for free?
So they don't technically own anything.
Exactly, but they control everything. That's the game. And most people will never learn this because they're too busy working for money while the rich make money work for them through structure. But here's the problem. Knowing this secret alone won't help you because there's a final piece that separates the wealthy from the ultra-wealthy. And if you miss it, you'll end up in jail or broke. Let me show you. Section 1. The foundation. Why structure beats money. First, let's destroy the biggest lie you've been told. Make more money and you'll be rich.
Wait, that's wrong?
Completely wrong. Look at lottery winners. 70% go bankrupt within 5 years. They had money, zero structure. Now look at the Rockefellers. 6 generations later, still wealthy. Why? Structure.
Okay, but what is structure?
Structure is how your wealth is organized. It's the difference between having $10 million in your personal bank account. You pay 37% tax, you're personally liable for lawsuits, you're exposed. Or having that $10 million spread across 7 different legal entities, trusts, LLCs, offshore companies, family offices, where the tax rate is close to zero. You're protected from lawsuits, and the wealth compounds for generations.
7 entities? That sounds complicated.
That's intentional. Complexity is the moat. The more complex your structure, the more expensive it is to attack, the harder it is to tax, and the easier it is to move money around legally. Here's what keeps me up at night. Most people work their entire lives to hit $1 million, but without structure, that $1 million is worth maybe $600,000 after taxes, exposed to lawsuits, and will be taxed again when they die. The ultra-rich with $1 billion, they might actually access more spending power than that millionaire because of how they've structured it.
That can't be fair.
Fair? No. Legal? Absolutely. Now let me show you how they actually do it. Section 2. The asset separation game. Rule number 1 of the ultra-rich. Never own assets personally.
Never? Not even their houses?
Especially not their houses. Let me break this down. When you own something personally, 3 things happen. 1, you're personally liable if something goes wrong. 2, you pay the highest tax rate. 3, your assets can be seized in a lawsuit.
So what do they do instead?
They use what I call asset separation. Here's a real example. A billionaire I know owns 5 mansions. On paper, he owns 0. Mansion 1, owned by an LLC in Delaware. Mansion 2, owned by a trust in Nevada. Mansion 3, owned by a family limited partnership. Mansion 4, owned by an offshore company in the Caymans. Mansion 5, owned by a qualified personal residence trust.
But who owns the LLCs and trusts?
Other entities. And here's the beautiful part. He's listed as the beneficiary or manager of these entities. He controls everything, owns nothing. If someone sues him personally, they find nothing. 0 assets in his name.
That feels like cheating.
It's not cheating. It's playing chess while everyone else plays checkers. The tax code actually encourages this. Why? Because these structures create jobs. Lawyers, accountants, administrators. The system wants you to do this once you're wealthy enough. But here's where people mess up. They create one LLC and think they're protected. Wrong. The ultra-rich use layers. Minimum 3, usually 7+. Each layer adds protection, reduces taxes, and creates what I call legal quicksand for anyone trying to come after you.
Section 3. The control versus ownership split.
Now we get to the real magic. This is where wealth becomes generational.
I'm ready. What's the secret?
On one side, ownership. On the other, control. The poor and middle class think these are the same thing. The ultra-rich know they're completely different.
How are they different?
Mark Zuckerberg owns less than 15% of Meta, but he controls over 50% through special voting shares. The Walton family owns Walmart through trusts, but they control it through board seats and family governance. Luxury fashion brands, often owned by holding companies in Luxembourg, controlled by families in France or Italy.
So ownership is who gets the money, control is who makes the decisions.
Exactly. And here's why this matters. When you own something, you pay taxes on it. You can be sued for it. You have to report it. And you'll have estate taxes when you die. But when you control something without owning it, you get all the benefits, the decisions, the lifestyle, the influence, with none of the liabilities.
Give me a real example of how this works.
Okay, real case. A tech founder sells his company for $500 million. If he owns the shares personally, he pays $100 million in capital gains tax. He's left with $400 million. But what if 2 years before the sale, he transfers his shares to an intentionally defective grant or trust, and that trust is owned by his kids, and the trust is domiciled in a state with no income tax, and he structures the sale as an installment over 10 years? Tax bill? Close to 0. Why? Because on paper, he didn't sell the shares. The trust did. And the trust is designed specifically to be defective for estate taxes, but effective for income taxes.
That's insane.
That's structure. And we're just getting started. Section 4. The trust architecture. Now let's talk about the single most powerful tool the ultra-rich use: trusts.
I've heard of trusts, but I don't really understand them.
Nobody does until they have $50 million. Then suddenly everyone understands them. Here's the simple explanation. A trust is like a box. You put assets in the box. The box has rules about who can access those assets and when. You're no longer the owner. The trust is the owner. But you can be the person who benefits from the trust.
What's the point of that?
1. Asset protection. Creditors can't touch what you don't own. 2. Tax reduction. Trusts can be in 0 tax states. 3. Estate planning. Assets pass to kids without estate tax. 4. Privacy. Trusts don't have to be public. 5. Control from the grave. You can control how money is used for 100 years after you die.
Wait, control from the grave?
This is where it gets wild. The ultra-rich use what's called dynasty trusts. These trusts last for centuries. The Rockefeller trusts, set up in 1934, still running today, managing billions. The rules John D. Rockefeller set up 90 years ago still control how his great-great-great-grandchildren access money.
That seems like a lot of control.
It's not about control, it's about preservation. Here's the harsh truth. 90% of family wealth is gone by the 3rd generation. Why? Because the grandkids blow it. They didn't earn it, they don't respect it, they waste it. Dynasty trusts prevent that. The trust pays for education, healthcare, housing, business ventures, but the kids never actually own the principal. They can't blow it because they never actually own it.
So the money's trapped forever?
Not trapped, but protected. Protected from stupid spending decisions, divorces, 40 to 50% of the reason wealth disappears. Lawsuits, bad investments, estate taxes, that's 40% gone right there. Creditors, the trust keeps the wealth in the family, generation after generation. That's how you build a dynasty. Section 5.
Now let me show you the actual structure the ultra-rich use. I call it the 7-entity strategy.
Why 7?
Because you need multiple layers of protection. Here's the typical setup. Layer 1, the living trust. This is where you live. Your house, cars, personal items. Protects privacy, avoids probate. Layer 2, the family limited partnership. Holds investments, stocks, bonds, real estate. You're the general partner, you control it. Your kids are limited partners. They benefit but can't touch it. Creates valuation discounts for tax purposes. Layer 3, the LLC, multiple. Each major asset gets its own LLC. Rental property, LLC. Business, LLC. Investment portfolio, LLC. If one gets sued, the others are protected. Layer 4, the irrevocable trust. Assets go here to get out of your estate. You don't control it. That's the point. Estate tax? 0 on these assets. Layer 5, the dynasty trust. Generational wealth storage. Set it up in South Dakota, Nevada, or Delaware. No state tax, can last forever. Your great-great-grandkids will thank you. Layer 6, the captive insurance company. Yes, the ultra-rich own their own insurance companies. Insure your own risks, invest the premiums. Deduct the premiums as a business expense, tax-advantaged growth. Layer 7, the offshore component. Not for tax evasion, that's illegal. For privacy, asset protection, and international diversification. Usually in Cayman Islands, British Virgin Islands, or Singapore.
This sounds incredibly expensive and complicated.
It is. Setting this up costs $150,000 to $500,000 in legal fees. Maintaining it costs $50,000 to $100,000 per year. But here's the math. If you have $50 million and this structure saves you 20% in taxes, that's $10 million saved. If it protects you from one major lawsuit, that could save you everything. For the ultra-rich, this structure isn't expensive, it's essential.
Is there a simpler version for normal people?
Yes. Start with 1. A revocable living trust. Avoid probate. 2. One LLC for your rental property or side business. 3. Max out retirement accounts. These are protected from lawsuits. 4. Get good umbrella insurance. You don't need 7 entities until you have $10 million, but you should start building the habit of separation now. Section 6. The tax architecture. Legal versus illegal. Okay, we need to talk about the line between legal and illegal, because what the ultra-rich do is 100% legal, but one wrong move and you're in prison.
What's the line?
The line is intent and reporting. Legal tax avoidance, using trusts to reduce estate taxes, deducting business expenses, investing in opportunity zones, using depreciation on real estate, donating to charity for deductions, moving to a no-tax state, setting up offshore companies for legitimate business reasons. Illegal tax evasion, hiding money offshore and not reporting it, creating fake expenses, using offshore accounts to avoid taxes, not paying what you legally owe, lying on tax returns.
How do the ultra-rich pay so little tax then?
They use something called unrealized gains. Here's how it works. Let's say you own $1 billion in Amazon stock. If you sell it, you pay capital gains tax, $200 to $300 million to the government. But what if you never sell it? What if you just borrow against it?
You can do that?
This is the secret. It's called buy, borrow, die. 1. Buy assets that appreciate, stocks, real estate, businesses. 2. Borrow against those assets at 2 to 3% interest, securities-based loans. 3. Die, and your heirs get a step up in basis. The assets are revalued at death, no capital gains tax. You live off borrowed money. The interest is tax deductible, the loan isn't income, so it's not taxed, and when you die, the assets step up in value, so your kids inherit them tax-free.
That's legal?
100% legal. This is how Bezos, Musk, and Buffett live billionaire lifestyles while reporting almost no income. They don't sell their stock, they borrow against it. The interest rate on the loan, 2 to 3%, is lower than the growth rate of their assets, 8 to 10%, so they're actually making money while borrowing.
Why doesn't everyone do this?
Because you need $10 million minimum for banks to offer these loans, and most people don't understand the strategy. But here's the critical part. This only works if you have appreciating assets. If you borrow against something that's going down in value, you're bankrupt. That's why structure comes first. You build the structure, then you fill it with quality assets. Section 7. The privacy layer. Why anonymity equals power. We need to talk about something most people never consider: privacy.
Why does privacy matter if everything's legal?
Because wealth makes you a target. Let me show you why the ultra-rich obsess with privacy. Kidnapping and extortion. You think I'm joking? Over 15,000 kidnappings per year are wealth-related. Mexico, Latin America, parts of Asia, wealthy people are targets. If no one knows you're wealthy, you're not a target. Frivolous lawsuits. Once people know you're rich, they sue you for everything. Slip on your property? Lawsuit. Car accident? They'll claim millions because they know you have it. The ultra-rich have zero assets in their personal name. Good luck suing them. Family protection. Your kids don't need everyone at school knowing they're rich. That causes bullying, fake friendships, and entitlement. Business leverage. If competitors know your wealth, they know your negotiation power. Anonymity gives you leverage.
How do they stay anonymous?
Here are their strategies. 1. Trusts. The trust owns everything, your name isn't on it. 2. LLC structures. Properties owned by 123 Main Street LLC, not John Smith. 3. Offshore entities. These don't have to report beneficial owners publicly. 4. Proxy directors. Someone else's name is on the paperwork as director. 5. Private family offices. Look like small businesses, not wealth management. 6. No social media. Seriously, billionaires are not on Instagram flashing cash. 7. Quiet luxury. Drive normal cars, normal clothes, blend in.
The ones we see on social media?
Nouveau riche. New money. They're so excited about wealth, they have to show it off. Old money? You'd never know. They look like your accountant. The ultra-rich know. The moment people know you're rich, they either want something from you or want to take something from you. Privacy isn't about secrecy, it's about safety. Section 8. The mindset shift from earning to engineering. Here's the final piece that separates the wealthy from the ultra-wealthy: the mindset shift.
What shift?
Most people think, how do I make more money? The ultra-rich think, how do I engineer wealth that works without me?
What's the difference?
Making money, active, you trade time for dollars. More hours equals more money. You stop working, money stops. Income is taxed at highest rates. You're the bottleneck. Engineering wealth, passive, you build systems that generate money. Assets work 24/7 without you. Multiple income streams. Wealth compounds automatically. Structure protects and multiplies it. You're the architect, not the worker.
How do you make that shift?
This is the hardest part because it requires completely rewiring your brain. Here's what you need to internalize. 1. Cash is trash. The ultra-rich hold assets, not cash. Assets appreciate, cash depreciates. Every dollar should be working for you. 2. Debt is a tool. Poor people fear debt. Rich people use debt to buy assets. At 3% interest, debt is cheap money if your assets grow 10%. 3. Income is irrelevant. The ultra-rich don't optimize for high salaries. They optimize for asset ownership and equity. A CEO might take a $1 salary but own billions in stock. 4. Time compounds. Quick money doesn't last. Slow, structured wealth building creates dynasties. Plant trees your grandchildren will sit under. 5. Structure protects everything. No structure equals wealth is fragile and temporary. Good structure equals wealth is anti-fragile and generational.
So it's not really about making money at all, is it?
No, it's about designing a system that makes, protects, and compounds money with or without you. That's why inheritance alone doesn't work. If you give someone $100 million but they don't understand the structure and mindset, they'll lose it. The ultra-rich don't just pass down money, they pass down the structure, the advisors, the strategy, the mindset. That's how wealth lasts 200 years.
So let's bring this all together. You now understand something that took me years to learn. Wealth isn't about how much money you have, it's about how you structure what you have. I'm realizing I've been thinking about this all wrong.
Everyone does it first. We're taught, get a good job, save money, buy a house. That's financial survival, not wealth building. The ultra-rich play a completely different game. They don't own assets personally, they separate control from ownership. They use trusts to protect and pass wealth. They build 7+ entity structures. They live off debt, not income. They obsess over privacy. They think in generations, not years.
What can someone do if they're just starting?
Start now. You don't need $100 million to begin thinking this way. If you make $75,000 a year, open a living trust, $1,500. Max out your Roth IRA, grows tax-free. If you have a side business, create an LLC, get umbrella insurance, $1 million coverage for $200 a year, and start thinking, how do I buy assets instead of stuff? If you make $200,000 a year, add asset protection trusts, start using a financial advisor who understands structure, begin buying real estate or index funds through LLCs, set up 529 plans for your kids, tax-advantaged education savings. If you make $1 million plus a year, hire a wealth attorney immediately. Build the full structure, trusts, LLCs, family office. Plan for estate taxes now. Start thinking about generational wealth. The key is structure scales. You build it small, and as your wealth grows, the structure grows with it.
All right, let me leave you with this. We covered a lot today. Here's what you need to remember.
The 8 keys to how the ultra-rich structure wealth. 1. Structure beats money. Organization is more important than the amount. 2. Never own assets personally. Use entities, trusts, LLCs. 3. Separate control from ownership. You control it, you don't own it. 4. Trusts are your foundation. Dynasty trusts create generational wealth. 5. Use the 7-entity strategy. Multiple layers mean maximum protection. 6. Live off debt, not income. Buy, borrow, die is 100% legal. 7. Privacy equals power. Anonymity protects you from lawsuits and threats. 8. Engineer, don't earn. Build systems that work without you.
This completely changed how I think about money.
Good, because here's the truth most financial advisors won't tell you. The system is designed for the ultra-rich to stay ultra-rich, but the doors aren't locked. You just need to know how to open them. Start small. Build your first trust. Create your first LLC. Begin separating your personal finances from your business. Think in decades, not months. And remember, the difference between 1 million and 100 million isn't working 100 times harder. It's structuring it 100 times smarter.
If this opened your eyes like it did mine, drop a comment and let us know what surprised you most. And if you're ready to start building your own structure, save this video. You'll want to come back to it.
You now know what took the ultra-rich generations to perfect. The question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? The wealthy don't work for money. They make money work for them through structure, strategy, and systems. Now go build yours.
Thanks for watching.
And remember, wealth isn't about what you make, it's about what you keep, protect, and multiply. See you in the next one.